How are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's episode, you will see me go utterly insane because there has been a loss of recreational places. Hey, it's me. I've been gone for a bit. Okay, things has been going on. Good things. Hell yeah. But you know what's been not good? Duh. Third places, they're gone. Recreational spaces, they're gone. Cheap and free activities, things to do, they're gone. Why in the heck is bowling $95 per hour for two people for a 2-3 hour minimum per hour, by the way? Yeah, what's that about? So yeah, let's just talk about it from the beginning to the end. Hopefully we can wrap this up just in time so I can take my cute little early morning walk. Yes, it's 4 in the morning because this has been fucking bothering me. Honestly, I've been going nuts over this. Okay, so like what's been going on? One thing for sure that you've noticed and I've noticed, at least in America, okay, for sure in other places as well, there has been a loss of recreational spaces, a loss of the ability to talk to people, to have fun, and to be a human. Even though everyone has been well aware that these companies and these activities are made to make money off of us, at least at one point, besides them being available, that it actually was pretty humane. I would go bowling for 25 bucks. I would go skating, with that's included with the bowling, for free. Skating for 10-15 bucks. Honestly, you'll go to the park, you go to the beach. Usually where I'm at, they have like free activities to do things. Like the city government, I'm guessing, or maybe an organization, may have a bunch of food trucks and various like parties and things you can do. I remember when the counties, like in my area, we have like county fairs, and I love the county fairs. It was super fun. Everything was super affordable. There were things to do, games to play, and people to talk to. Now let's disregard the fact that people in general have been more hostile and more aggressive and overall less friendly, albeit they still want to make friends since COVID-19. We can talk about that in a different video. However, putting that aside, we can still acknowledge that these corporations have purposely given us less than breadcrumbs because they have figured out that it actually doesn't take a lot to please the majority of the public. Turns out that companies have been going over and beyond a little bit too much, seeing that you can actually give the average person a bit of bad quality items and they'll either love it or just deal with it. And that does show with hospitality and with service, customer service, quality of items, because it does show in the people they do hire and choose to, like, how much they want to pay these people and how these people are respected and treated throughout the whole hiring process and the employment process, as well as in general with the pandemic. It's shown that basically all we needed was, well, not me, girl, but all we needed was some baking banana bread videos and people making funny faces on camera to, like, I don't know, various songs and dressing, well, I wouldn't say weird, but in general having bad fashion sense. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so turns out like corporations found out you don't really need much. You can just kind of even, live and work, as a corporation for free. For example, take Duolingo. Duolingo has become a popular, popular app. It's always been a popular app, but it's been back on the market on Hot Talks, even though people hate it now that Duolingo is purposely personifying their company to connect with people, even though they loved it in the beginning. Let's not talk about the people, oh my gosh, and how they're very oxymoronic. However, one thing to show is that all Duolingo needed was to spend $3,000 on a good furry suit and just, hire a 25-year-old and maybe like an 18-year-old apprentice that's working at like NYU or something as a student. That's all you needed to say cute little funny blurbs on TikTok and Twitter. Turns out like you can make millions off of that, And because of that social media marketing, which was free or very cheap, Duolingo has been making much more money than they ever seen, or at least from a long time. So what does that have to do with what I'm saying with third places? So what I'm saying with that, I believe corporations have purposely made everything digital and online. Therefore, basically the spread of activities has either been completely gone or even been exemplified into price absurdity, meaning like it's too expensive. Like for example, Pilates classes, well, we're going to ignore the weird trend of Pilates classes, like of Pilates in general, because Pilates has always existed. Anyways, for hot yoga, Pilates, workout centers, yoga centers, or any type of recreational areas, even things like country clubs and things like that, super duper expensive. Oh my god, advertisements, bro. So basically things of that nature, yeah, that is like, those are the only places you can do. You can like have fun, be a person, make friends, or just in general breathe. And you know, not everyone has the access to good quality, safe places to do these activities, or if you have the money. Sometimes people just want to go out and do stuff. For example, I forgot her name. I don't know, Tracy something. I'm about to say Tracy Morgan. But there's a woman with a name with like her first name starts with T. Essentially, like her workout classes and similar has been like the most hottest commodity of recreational activities at the moment, as well as soul cycling and, like I said, country clubs. There's really nothing else unless you make friends online, which is the issue. That's not what people want. And even alongside that, people still just want to be outside in real life. So yeah, it's just like, sometimes there are some things out there, however, you have to pay $100 per class just to be there, and then at the same time it's super overcrowded. Yeah. And so with the loss of these third places, it just started around 2020, and I would say it slowly started with like restaurants purposely taking away seating, and some of them purposely being drive-through, ghost kitchens, and like I said, companies seeing, like even like entertainment companies, like with movie theaters, like with people that just owns land, real estate, commercial real estate, how they will like have ice cream stands, or they'll have like a Ferris wheel, or just basically just anything, like it's just been gone. And I think they've seen, like I said, they could just replace it with products, and just the simple fact that you can just sit around there and just walk around the plaza area and shop for clothing. So therefore the money they make is simply from you being there as the person owning that land. And also things like third places, I would include to be parks and beaches. I found beaches to be just overcrowded in the recent like 2 years, which has really thrown me off. I'm guessing maybe it's the type of escapism people want, or like I said, oh, I didn't say this, it's in my head, but what I was going to say is how people have a really busy work week, so therefore maybe just at a certain time period the beach will be busy all day long, or at a certain period of time. But I don't like, you can't really be outside at certain beaches at 10 p.m. afterwards anyways, at least where I live. And then it gets really cold before it gets bright around 6 a.m. and then it's really dark at that. So like, what am I doing unless I'm staying in a car smoking weed? So yeah, so the beach has been bombarded with a crowded amount of people, and then the food has been much more subpar and lower quality. And in general, in my area personally, I just don't want to sound mean because I'm trying to speak a little bit longer to really explain my point. But for example, like with the park as well, people either are a bit crowded there, or is really empty and not safe there. And I would say because of the houseless population and the people who are essentially, I would just say, deviant. I'm unsure if they have a mental illness, do drugs, or are just simply on that freaky time, you know, in a bad way. Yeah, I'm unsure of it, but I've really noticed that I haven't been going to parks unless it's been like somewhat of like a gated park, because I will be met with sometimes litter, or the grass not being upkept, or houseless people. And not saying there's nothing wrong with houseless people sleeping on benches or just being around. It's just I've been seeing the people that's been around to be more aggressive and then be a bit more dirty, and that never has been an issue beforehand. And in general, people has always tolerated at its worst and just never minded, you know, people without homes before the pandemic. And I live in like a really big city, and I do believe also the loss of recreational places has came to that. I say partially because of the increasing household population, because of the direct effect of inflation from the pandemic and stuff like that. And also, I really do believe it's like a circle effect. First of all, I have noticed that people have been liking lower quality items since COVID-19. I did some research online between forums and social medias like Reddit and Twitter and Instagram and even TikTok and YouTube. And I've seen that people say, well, after COVID-19, people lose their sense of taste, they lose their sense of smell, either permanently or after a while. So maybe that might be partially of why food quality might be lower. Also, people might speculate that, COVID-19, the pandemic has made a lots of like negative impacts on people's psyche and their mental health. So therefore, possibly their mindsets might be a bit skewed and they cannot possibly make the best, highest quality decisions. Yeah, that's what people have been saying. I also believe it's because people are so tired and people in general were so bombarded with a lot of trauma, stress, PTSD, with not having the capacity and the emotional backbone to deal with this type of thing, with dealing with the effects of the pandemic from themselves or family members or friends that passed. And then the US government not knowing how to handle things right isn't helping. Like a whole lot of things amongst more, I can say has damaged the psyche of Americans and thus lower the threshold of anything to be remotely positive or bettering one's life. So I do believe partially of that is that Americans would take any crumb of anything to essentially just fulfill their, satiate their needs and the sadness in their heart. And I do feel like, from that, people do stay more isolated and are more aggressive, therefore are not going outside and making these companies lose money, alongside people having to work more hours more often and then being more tired or being more busy, not being able to go outside, or second you get home like it's like 5, 6, 7 p.m. You know what I mean? It's just not, sometimes things close early alongside that, which doesn't help. Everything has been closing, at least in my area, between like 6 and like 10 p.m. at the latest where I live, and that has never happened. Things has been open between at its latest from 12 to 24 hours 4 a.m. That could also be a part of it. And like I said, with people just inadvertently not going outside and interacting based on their stressful lives of the impacts of the pandemic, companies are like, okay, well, people either don't want to go, can't afford, they're too sad to go, or too stressed out, so let's just take it away and not lose some money. Also, like I said, people just might not know how to socialize properly and are not seeking therapy or any type of self-development to help fix any shortcomings of themselves, of their emotional or mental capacity to interact with others in the real world. So that can also come into fact with people being antisocial. So therefore, just in general, further encapsulating the fact that let's take away third places. So I believe that's a really big chunk of it, at least 25%. Because even when I go to places that are considered third places, besides a person being at least twice my age, it's always somebody as old as hell calling me a cute little cutie patootie. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just I've never seen anyone between my age group or anyone at any age to actually talk to people. And I've noticed that people are more scared to talk to me and they're more hesitant and they don't know how to talk to me. And it just throws me off how in general people just don't know how to speak, and just when I say hello, how are you, thank you, how was your day, they either look at me very mean or have like a 1,000-yard stare, or the floor stare where they're just like kind of dissociated and they're just like stunned like they're a deer in the headlights. And I feel like that also has just made people more aggressive towards each other, when it's like, okay, well, since they're like that to me, the other people will be, or the past 5 people was, so I think everyone will be, and I'm just gonna project that feeling on everyone else, or even people projecting their hatred, insecurities, and their stresses from the pandemic. And like I said, alongside with that, like it shows, like when I go to art museums, when I go to the grocery store, when I go to parks, when I go to recreational activities, like whenever like my local city government wants to open up some type of cute little party get together to make some quick money or whatever, like what it will be. Like people are so scared to talk and to look at people, honestly, look at each other. They're always in their phone. And the only time I see people talking to somebody or acting docile or friendly is when it's somebody they already know pre-COVID, or already know in general, a family friend or a significant other. And it takes some people a while to warm up and be friendly. I don't really understand it. And the only time people will be interactive or friendly, quote unquote, is when they're nosy. Yeah, the only time I see people really indirectly interact is when they're nosy or staring at people or stuff like that. But literally, people are huddled up in their phone 24/7. Like, there's nothing to do on your phone that much for you to be stuck on your phone all the time. And they literally just like talk to the employees crazy if they have to talk to the employees or anything, or just aren't responsive, or just it's weird. And then some employees are like that as well. Not all of them, but some of them. Like I said, it's just like, the people are odd. And I do feel like people's antisocial personalities, and alongside their mental disorders they may have, or just the PTSD and the overall lack of emotional regulation and mental regulation, and the fact that people are not doing self-care. If you can go on TikTok, if you can go on YouTube, if you can go on, pornographic sites, you can go look up things for free and go to the library, go to Barnes & Noble and read things for free that are plausible and credible and real information. So to a certain extent, there's really no excuses for people, in my opinion. I know there are limits, but I'm sorry, for people to act the way they act, no, you do not have an excuse. I do feel like it's also bringing in companies saying like, okay, well, no, F this, let's just take this away. Because I think I complained about this in my past videos, don't know when, don't know where, maybe never did. But I do really dislike how I've seen that because of that, there's only been packages, deals, and things like products, services, and like food only for like couples or families. And it's just like, yo, what about me, bro? You're like, do I always have to like date and fuck on somebody? Damn. But yeah, it shows that in every way, in every aspect, that the only people like actually are nice to are people that they already know, or people maybe they know online, or people who are toxic being toxic people. And like I said, the antisocial personalities of people, that's also incorporated the loss of third places, because they're telling companies, well, okay, they don't want to hang out with each other or can't afford to, don't have the time, let's take it away. Also, the antisocial personalities, or the way people are now, has also made like less meetup groups and less hangout times and stuff. Because I go on things like Meetup and Eventbrite.com, and I've seen more virtual things than in-person things, and the only small in-person things I see are to go to like an expensive like restaurant and buy expensive like bland coffee and just draw. And I'm not saying that's bad or something, it's just like I don't know, maybe I sound a little bit mean on that, but I'm not really seeing actual any ways to interact with people. I don't know, man. I don't know, was there like an adult YMCA at one point? I just know for sure that there's been much more activities, and just in general, people have been much more happier to speak to each other. But like I said, I know partially of it is the government and or corporations, companies create a hostile environment as well, which also dictates a person's emotion, how they feel. So it's like a lot of things are coming together. So that's not really just one thing or the other. It's just like a myriad of things. But I just want to just share that I am sad about it, and I hope something happens good, something good happens to fix this. And I just wanted to see if other people have been noticing this as well. And I know it all starts with me. I know it all starts with me creating a recreational environment in a free setting to start this off, and I will be doing that one day. Okay, I like just meeting people in random environments and talking to them, but I'll be doing my part. And if you even can do your part or don't want to, I understand, but I hope the best happens for you. And I really do hope these recreational places come back, because like I said, they're either super expensive, right, or they're just obsolete. You can't just go, like I said, you can't literally, oh my god, there's no more arcades, right? There's no more kids arcades, there's no more adult arcades. I remember I used to go there and just fill up my card, or I'll have tickets at one point. They were giving out tickets, I think up until like 2014 or something like that. They started giving out digital cards, but I will like have so much like tickets and money put between 25 and 100 bucks. It all depends how much games I wanted to play. Things were bad cheap back then. You just need 20 bucks and to have fun. and I'll have a fucking ball, and I'll make fucking friends, and I'll go to Barnes and Noble, and a lot of people will be there, and they'll sit around and talk to me. People will share things with me. I remember I was a kid though, but I took like a summer art class at a college, and like I was going through a lot at the time, so I couldn't make any friends because it's like, girl, I'm sorry, like I got some shit going on at home, but I did make a lot of possible pleasant friends, okay? And I don't even know if they even serve those classes anymore. Are there much of a, you know, priority? I don't know. And in general, like I don't really hear anything about like open exhibitions or like events happening at colleges, like selling art or selling cookies or just showing off shit. Everything's been much more closed down and just much more corporate-y, money hungry, and just, I don't know, everything's just gone. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing to do. Like, how come, like I said, everything that's recreational requires to spend some money? It's just gone. And it's just like, I just get, I don't know, depressed in a way, because I just can't meet people, make friends, and just talk to people and see people happy and all that stuff. And people look so tired and stuff. So like I said, it's a bunch of everything. But yeah, this little loose rent talk thing with you is over. I hope you love the rest of your day. Hope your rest of your day goes great. I hope you're able to go to a random place. You can make some friends, talk to some cool people. You'll be able to, you know, go to a recreational environment. Hopefully for you, maybe the beach will be good for you, okay? Anyways, bye guys. Have fun. Hope you have a great day. I really just like how the only time you get to talk to people and see them is if you have roommates, go to school, go to work, or are forced to be in a certain environment with somebody for a prolonged period of time. Anywho, peace out. Fuck yeah. Heck yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm mad. Like, there's nothing to do. I might go to Vegas or something. Okay. Yeah.